trying to scrape this paint off by hand has been a real chore, especially in some areas where it's really kind of hard to get in there and get a scraper. So I've been using this paint stripper here that's almost a paste, and just dabbing it on there and letting it sit. And as you can see here, it works very well. A little time consuming as far as letting it sit there and peel off, or waiting for it to peel off, but once it is soaked in though, you can see that it just comes right off. So, but what I've got is I've got the front end back onto the tractor. I've got the engine mounted back to the front end, and so I'm just going through and scraping off all the paint that I couldn't get on or get to when the tires were on the front end. So going ahead and finish cleaning this up, and then we'll go ahead and prime up the front. Alright, I got the grill just about stripped. Got a little bit more to do on that and getting that down to bare metal. So we'll be ready to prime here pretty soon. So, like I said earlier, a little tedious work in stripping all this paint, but I wanted to make sure that I had good adhesion with the new paint. So, got a little bit more to do on this front wheel, and haven't even started on the back wheel there. But I'll go ahead and keep plugging away here. I know that if I wasn't painting this, I would have had the tractor all back together again, but I figured, you know, if I'm going this far, let's go ahead and make it nice all the way around. So, got a few new parts I put on. I got new tie rods here with the ball joints. I think that's what they're called on this tractor, I'm not sure. So I got some new ones here, and then new ones back here. Went ahead and covered them up with paint, or tape, I should say, before I paint. But yeah. Alright, let me finish stripping here, and then the next shot I have, should be all primed. Alright, well, I've decided not to use rattle cans to paint this, so I went over to Harbor Freight and got their HVLP system, and I'm going to spray paint this here, the rest of it, including the front. As the rattle cans, I was using too much paint, and it was just taking forever for good coverage. So I'm going to switch gears here and use this HVLP system and see how it works. Well, as you can see in the garage, it's pretty tight in here too. I've got my workshop on this side, and so I'm using the space where my wife normally parks to work on this tractor and then get it painted. So today I'm painting gray, and so I just did the inside of the tire here, and I've got plastic pretty much everywhere covering everything up, except for my leaf blower. I used that this morning. But I'm having to do this in stages. You know, one day I'll paint one color, let that dry, cover it up, and then the next day I'll paint the other color, wait a day, let that dry. So yeah, it's taking a little bit longer to do the paint, but hopefully in the end it'll all look good. But painting in basically a one-car garage is pretty tight. I know I'm probably shouldn't be painting this outside, but I'm running out of room in my garage, so I just threw down some paper and go ahead and spraying it here. Seems to be going down pretty good. This is my first time with a HVLP, and I am getting some orange peel, as they call it, but it's first time using one, first time painting, so not perfect, but at least I know that the paint, everything is covered, and it's got a good coat of paint on it. So again, not perfect, but for a tractor, not bad. Alright, well, I've got some red things up here that I'm going to paint, and I'm going to do that next, and then I got to tackle the radiator and toolbox. I got to get that cleaned up. I haven't even started on that yet. So, well, tonight, as you can see, I'm starting to put things back onto the tractor. I got 3 coats of paint on the gray, the red, and the black. So with all the painting done, I can now focus on putting things back on the tractor and paint. So what I decided to do was start in the back and work my way forward. I'm not going to put the tires on right away. I just rather go ahead and wait until I get the engine running, because I'd like to see how this thing's going to go when I give it some gas. And since it's up on the blocks without the tires, then I'm not too concerned about it kind of rolling off, if you will. So we're starting the process of putting it back together. It's only been 3 months, actually almost to the day. I started the 4th of July weekend, and here it is October 2nd. So in 2 more days it'll be 3 months that I've started this project. I'm hoping to have it done in 2 days, putting it back together and making sure it runs. It's my goal, but I also had a goal of getting this done in 2 weeks back when I first started. But that's where we're at, and so we're putting this back together tonight. Hopefully by tomorrow we're able to start her up and give it a go. Alright, so let me finish putting this thing back together.